Well, hello there, and welcome back for the fourth time of today. And we have come back to the EU server. We have come back to the upper bracket final in between two teams that have shown quite a dominant performance yesterday. It's going to be the team of Opur with a new logo, actually, against the team of W. Opur yesterday showing no signs of weakness whatsoever. They have played 4 rounds in the player stage. They've won 4 of those. Just absolutely on point coming into this one. What do you think?
Yeah, they looked on form, but their opponents W also looked quite good. We got to remember though, these teams met in groups already, where Opur had the more successful end of the story between the two. However, it was not really the match of the greatest significance anymore, so cannot take too much away from that. But both of them really dominant so far this tournament. Now it's going to be a clash between these two about what can our Polish diamond Frugo do, getting more polished every tournament.
Yeah, and what can Opur do in their preparation on the way leading up to China? Steps being the first map removed here from the map pool by Opur. W answering with Sand River, then Cliff being taken by Opur with W saying, hey, we'll defend first. Muravanka, the next map on the menu. Himmelsdorf being removed next. This leaves us with Tundra as a possible map number 3. Mines and Prokhorovka not going to be played once again, leaving us with Ghost Town as the possible tiebreaker. I would love for this match to go there. Not sure if it will, but once again, Ghost Town seems to not be one of those favorite maps for any team currently.
No, it's fallen out of fashion, which is interesting. We'll see if it comes around in the best of 9 format when we get there. So that's going to be something to look forward to. But yeah, it's weird that we haven't seen any.
So far. I mean, that might still change, but even in this match, I think in the entirety of matches that we've spectated, this is number 8, I believe, yesterday and today. Only one match, I believe, went to tiebreaker, or was that even off stream? And I can't even remember, but the probability of us seeing Ghost Town here is, I think, kind of low. That being said, we are going to be starting off on Cliff, so it's going to be a cracker right from the get-go. Cliff, one of those maps that always promises fast-paced action, and also Cliff, one of those maps where I think, you can really see the differences in team cohesion, in individual plays, in people able to quickly grasp what the situation is, how they need to react. You can really see how good teams are when it comes to short-term decision making.
But it's not always played in a super quick fashion, though. We saw Smile take more of a slower-ish approach in the last match. It's not necessarily, 7 tanks middle and fight. It is a possibility. However, we don't really see too often 7 tanks mid anymore. It's always some sort of split and then react to the enemy split. And I think we'll have a similar story between these two. Opur, I find more likely to take 7 tanks and just be like, okay, guys, go brawl, go kill them. W, not quite.
I mean, when you have the opinion that you have the better focus fire, that you have the better players, and I think Opur has that kind of standard set for themselves against any team that isn't called hit and run, then yes, that becomes the possibility, that becomes the opportunity to just say, hey, we'll drive at them, we'll drive over them, we'll focus fire them down, and we'll just win the round. Now, casters' predictions. Yeah, most of us saying actually, or probably hoping actually, that this one is going to go towards a tiebreaker. I am really looking forward to what we're going to see here. You're saying it's going to be W, Insane, and me are saying it's going to be Opur. Toxic, though, the only one to say this is not going towards a tiebreaker.
Maybe Toxic knows more than us, but, we're expecting a close one. I think that's fair. With the way both of these teams have performed, I wouldn't have got a clear winner. I went for W because otherwise we'd all be on the same board again.
Yeah. Now, tank-wise, Opur coming into this one, double BZ, double 277, triple CS63, so kind of light.
Kind of light indeed versus W's. Bit heavier. 6 BZs and 1 CS. That's from Opur on Cliff you have seen before, right?
Yeah, and for a W, like dropping really any kind of finesse, it is once again this in-your-face brawling setup that can be split up though, with those BZs especially, and we'll have to see how exactly they are going to split up in those initial seconds of the first game of the upper bracket finals of the EU server, sending 1 CS, and basically that should be 4 BZs towards the middle, sending 2 BZs lower. For Opur, it's going to be double 277 lower. A lot of CSs diverting immediately towards that donut, all of them getting spotted. That is a lot of information that is going and exchanging hands here right now. But the thing is, Ali and Loop, they can't really go in against the CSs from the donut and against those 277s that are kind of safe, that can provide crossfire. So this in turn means that they're going to be stuck with double BZ on the lower side.
Yeah, but the double 277 is stuck on the lower side as well. But Frugo taking a beating from the CS63s, taking even more damage from Piotrix on the back. He came back towards the middle, but he's just kind of out in no man's land. Frugo's going to fall for this. That's the first freebie for Opur, the Polish leader for W, out in no man's land, down towards a one-shot. Surely Getsai will find him in a very, very quick fashion here in a second or two when he wants to. Although Frugo might just be able to boost fast and survive. Yuzek, however, on that top ramp position, is in a little bit of trouble himself. Can't really do too much. Piotrix is laying down crossfire on towards him, so he has to be careful from that CS63. HP pretty even though, and the issue I think for W is that they can't really just hold from this.
Oh, big shot there going into Barkis. Not sure if from Ketsai or Ozek here right now, but I think the trades at the moment, they are favoring Opur. They are favoring the team that currently has the crossfire positions better established. And you can see Ozek now bowing out from the ramp, but it doesn't really matter for them. They don't really need that ramp position currently. Yuzek trying to take a swing at Piotrix. He knows roughly where he is, but now here comes the trouble. Here comes the troublemaker. That is going to be Pansfury. Yes, DJ taking a big one here from what felt like Loop, but Pansfury did make it over for free, and now that is a problem because that's a hull down 277 that does get covered by double. Make that triple CS if you also count Piotrix. So now this is springing the Opur tanks into action. Yuzek, realizing he can't stay up there anymore, takes another big swing by Ozek regardless, down towards a one-shot. This is the tanks on the ramp, dangerously low for W.
Dangerously low and pretty much going to die, and W is now trying to react by pushing out the 1-2 lines themselves into that 277 of Panther Fury. Orzek though with the first kill on towards Frugo on the middle. Panther Fury falling though. Yuzek now down in the middle as well. DJ faced off against Ali, and now W is trying to repush this top side, but they need some help onto the position of DJ. They will clear at least the one line, but that will put them into a surround. The ignite from Lip helping out a little bit though. Itox crossing over, but crossing into his own death more than anything else. W falling to pieces on round number 1, and all that came from that initial damage taken on the middle of the map. And Ketsa even coming out wide to make that play, take the damage and the repush from Opur. In the meantime happening, even a good body block there from Ketsai, but Tisek to come in with the kill. Leaves Ali and Lip as the last 2 tanks standing in this battle, and Opur coming in immediately with a good start.
Yeah, Opur with a good start, with a solid start into round number 1. I think the biggest problem here for W was that team captain, actually, Frugo there in the middle of the map, not really having a good time, overextending, just over-peaking there, losing all his HP, bare his life there in the middle, and then they couldn't really contest that ramp anymore. They were in the 2v2, but they didn't have the HP to properly play there, and any kind of repush that W was realistically going to attempt was just going to run into the crossfire that the CSs had established so well. So I think the crux of this game here is essentially that Opur was able, with those initial moves, to make the HP disadvantage that they were starting off with, because they had less of those BZs. They managed to close the HP distance or difference And from there on out, they just had the better position. So Opur, at least in round number 1 here, demonstrating a very, very thorough understanding of Cliff as a map.
It's also just the fact that Opur has better access to everything, right? Because of the double BC being on the 2 line, Panzer Fury was able to take and join his teammates on the 3 line. That, for example, already was bad for Opur, for W, even if they didn't lose so much HP, because it's like, DJ is watching 2 tanks. They have 6 available on the top side. They also have easier access to the middle again. They have easier access to the hill because of Piotrik's position kind of shutting down the ram. So I think all in all, to be honest, W was always going to have a lot of issues holding in this round, no matter what. It just became a lot more severe with Frugo taking all the initial damage. But even without it, I think position for position, Opur was always ahead and had access to whatever part of the map they wanted to. They could even send a CS around the hill at some point to farm those BZs. They could BZ on the hill if they wanted to. They had access to everything. W did not.
And I think the most important thing to highlight for Opur is that actually, like, they started off with a lighter lineup, but they actually made it work. They took the positions, they saw like, hey, this is where, W is trying to establish themselves with those slightly slower but heavier, more HP tanks with higher alpha. They completely avoided going close towards those tanks and then just set up crossfire positions everywhere, took all the options away, exploited the initial misplays from Frugo, and from there on out, it was their game to lose. They didn't, so it was their game that they netted here. And honestly, I'm kind of like, it is 1 round only, but if that keeps going, I'm kind of worried for W, because Opur just pounced on every single mistake and didn't give an opening whatsoever towards the players of W.
Luckily enough for W to still have a long road before they would be relegated. And even then, if they would be, they still have the safety net of the lower bracket, right?
Yeah, that is entirely correct. But we highlighted it already. Going through the upper bracket into the grand final is not only the shorter, the more relaxed, the better route. You also get the pick and ban advantage in the grand finals, which are happening tomorrow. But sometimes it's not your choice, right? If you aren't able to win the upper bracket final, then you have to go through the gruesome lower bracket. And Opur will be trying to continue exactly what they've been doing, and they'll be doing it with, well, exactly the lineup. Double BZ, double 277, triple CS.
W not switching either, though. 6 BZs and a CS. Opur likes that triple medium lineup. They've used it 4 times now. I think they played Cliff 4 times. They've used it 4 times. They seem to be pretty confident that they can beat the heavier lineups even with the triple CS and the double 277, which is a bit lighter than those BZs. But if W can find the engagement that they're looking for, they should simply out alpha Opur.
Yeah, this is where Opur needs to be very careful to avoid getting too close to the team of W at the start. Currently, Opur is sending every single tank towards the middle. And yes, they have a more diverse lineup in terms of tanks. They do have mediums, they have heavies, they have BZs, they have 277s. But they actually have mostly fast tanks. And this is where the lineup of Opur shines. You can see they just have so many options available. Piotrik's going to spot out, get a lot of information immediately on towards the tanks that are coming towards the middle from W. Rexa already starting to drive around the hill. Panzer Fury opting against the cross with a 277. Those are just all reactions that are so very well tried, and Piotrik's going on towards the hill, having taken only a singular shot of damage. Already all the positions in the hands, once again, of Opur.
Yeah, and they have Rexer behind them as well, which is going to put 1 or 2 shots into the backs of these tanks from W. White Rock now realizes that, hey guys, there's a CS behind us, so they're going to decide that this is our moment to go on the hill. They're sending White Rock up by himself right now. Frugo to join as well. Big peeks from behind of the Polish captain yet again in trouble. 672 HP remaining. A 1-shot now with Frugo. Narrowly makes it on top of the hill. Ketsai not getting too much of a better story though, but it will be an even fight on the hill at the very, very least. Itox there missing onto Panzer Fury.
That is huge.
Getting the better. Yeah, and Ketsai actually falling. Who got it? Ollie?
Yeah, Ollie there with that BZ from the D3 position. That is really 1 huge kill and a half. because this means that now on the hill it's going to be a 2 versus 1, and more importantly, it's going to be a BZ against the CS. Panzfury, they're taking a beating, taking punishment in that 277, and I think this is what's bringing Opur into action. They are down 2k HP, but they do have more guns in the fight as the tanks by W from the donut. They're coming into the fray here. They're storming in towards the middle of the map. One of the 277s by Opur actually completely down and out of the fight. They're in that northern part of the map. So I think right now Opur, they were caught with their pants down in a rotation.
In the rotation, indeed, DJ there tried to counter Ali, but Ali simply said, okay, you're trying to counter me, I'll go for your CS63 instead. As the hill is under firm control of the boys from W, Ali here might be able to push Tisek out, but Tisek knows the position quite well, finds the kill. Ali trying to do the best that he can with the situation he was in, but in return, though, Panzerfury a one-shot, Rexer a one-shot, Piotrix a one-shot. Everybody but DJ and Tisek are not having a good time. Barkus here fancies himself a little bit of Rexar. He has that HP advantage as well. Rexar did take a good peek, so he's going to do 2 shots of damage to Barkus, who's down towards 600, but now Rexar falling, Fury falling, Piotrix to the grave as well, leaves DJ and Tisek. But they have done a tremendous amount of damage in the meantime, though. Lip down towards 437. The issue is they have no access to cap number 2 for Opur, and they will have to repush at some point.
Exactly. What we are probably going to see is going to be a repush, the March of the Elephants. White Rock here trying to move down the hill. This one can be a dangerous one. Oh, kind of lucky there not to lose more HP, still staying on a
was a bit fast, you know.
Shot here. Was a bit fast, was trying to get ahead of himself. But yeah, Cap does get started, and this was actually, I think, kind of worth it there as DJ trying to repush the middle and time again. That repush is so costly. DJ down to 1400, and Tsek not finding the kill shot towards Frugo is going to be very, very hurtful from here on out. The HP, they were in favor of Opur, they're kind of even again.
Yeah, that double tap on DJ on the crossing. I mean, he now knows that he has to somehow challenge Yuzek in his BZ, while the cap is still going. Tisek is now relocating towards the south side himself. Will probably join DJ in that position so they can go for Yuzek together. But in the meantime, yeah, the time is running lower and lower. 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the clock to the cap, and Tisek will take at least like 10 more seconds to arrive in the middle. Then they need to kill Yuzek. It's all just not really looking good for them.
Yeah, no. W is doing a very good job with the tools at hand that they have. Yuzek now getting pushed by a DJ here. I mean, DJ trying to isolate the enemy tanks here is going to not even get the connection, and that means that Yuzek does get at least more shot for himself. He's probably not going to roll the 277, but at the end of the day, that doesn't even matter. 277 with the next shot, but Yuzek there reducing the 277 towards a one shot. Tsek coming in with that CS63 might even, I mean, yeah.
That was a good play from Yuzek though. But in the meantime, Barkus joining the cap to speed up the process, and Lip will body block Tsek even with that BZ. Trugo then from the top of the hill gets the kill, and it's gonna be W equalizing the scoreline rather quickly. Good moves there from them as well. Ali there pushing across to B2, killing Katsai, like you said, super important.
Yeah, so the teams starting to trade blows here, and Opur in round number 1, they looked to be ahead in every single department. They looked to be ahead mentally, in tanks, in positions, in understanding, in gameplay, in everything. Round number 2, not so clear cut. Yes, both teams had some situations that looked kind of dicey, but in the end, I think Opur starting to lose a bit of the nerves that they are very, very well known for. Not able to keep the guns in the game, and instead a W just with those 6 BZs and that singular CS, able to to this time take the positions to not get outplayed simply by opening where they couldn't respond anymore. I think the difference this time was that W were able to negate the advantage that Opur had regarding speed and just play on alpha.
Yeah, and it's just all around good stuff from W there. Really just Huge. Good for them. 1-1. Brings them back in this match just smoothly. Down to a best of 5 now. Muro coming in next. Our predictions may not be too far off the truth, Kian. 1-1 Muro, 1-1 Tundra. Tiebreaker goes down.
Possibly. Moravanka, we have seen, can be a map, which can be a definite 1-1. We have seen some 2-0s as well. But either of those teams are going to know that Moravanka is a map that, lends itself to attacks. We haven't really seen the super heavy, or not super heavy, but super aggressive one cap commits yet that we used to see last tournament. 1-2 line cap, I mean. Those haven't really been a thing yet this tournament. Teams on the attack side tried to play it differently, tried to play it forest, a bit of everywhere, and the defenders sometimes even felt, pushed into just super aggressive openings with quadruple IS7, triple 277 that ended up not working. But I really am waiting to see one of those 1-2 line cap commitments and how the defender will want to respond to it with a mouse in the middle soaking up the damage. Stuff like this. Classic Moravanka stuff.
I'm more curious to see what defensive lineup we're going to get. We've seen some interesting ones so far. 4 IS7s, 3 277s. The defense is still trying to, figure out ways to get into a position where they can really hold, because they have to go aggressive.
Well, I think the questions might be answered soon, at least the ones regarding the lineups, because we are about to go into round number 3 here, in between Opur and W lineups. Quadruple I7 for Opur, bringing double S-Conk and the singular Batchat.
Singular Batchat versus W 60DP, double I7, mouse, E5, bat, and CS63. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything by a W. The only tank that's more than once picked is the I7 here. Both Fruga and Loop with it. Opening-wise, I'm going to be very interested, especially where the S-Conks go by Opur, because those are going to be essentially the anchor tanks. The other tanks can rotate a lot more, and we do see once again today quadruple IS7 going towards the forest here, this time even accompanied by a Batchat, and once again the IS7s get spotted very, very early. It's not the Batchat that's spotting them, it is the CS with the, I guess, standard spotting run. Also the CS full spotting lineup once again, whereas the Batchat leaves out the optics, takes the stab.
Yeah, we saw a reaction here yesterday on that zero line not having a good time whatsoever. Let's hope that Piltix has a better one. He has a lot of support though by that quad IS7 group that is coming in towards the lines of the forest. But look at W, man. They're just really taking it slow and steady. They're like, okay, all right, let's take our time. Push up on 2. We don't have to do much. Let's just relax.
Exactly. They have one of their mediums, namely White Rock, in that CS positioned in C0 to gain a bit of information, to retain a bit of map control. They have the E5 behind him to lay down a bit of covering fire should it be needed. But in the end, rotation starting to happen by Opur. They are orientating themselves more towards the 1-2 line once again. Even the Batchat now starting to return together with the ISM that was positioned on the 9 line. I think Opur, this might even be a pre-timed rotation where they think something might be happening around the 1 cap, because obviously they see the lineup of W. They see that there is a Batchat that could be capping, but they also see that there hasn't really been any kind of advance. And now talking about timing rotations, this might be another one.
Yeah, but so far you'd favor Opur, no? Itox and the mouse are holding 1-2, sure. But this first rotation will take a while. Although if White Rock starts getting this info quickly and he's like, guys, nobody, then they may just send the I7s back to C2, C3 to hold from there to create crossfire if 1-2 gets pushed, because right now, if Opur drives down 1-2 line, they have 2 tanks for free. I mean, free is a big word, but...
Then again, yeah, they have a tank, maybe even 2 for free with that 60 TP, with that mouse. But on the other hand, that is all the mobile tanks for the team of W close towards the 2 cap. They can essentially try and just overrun it, but that is not a possibility yet. The team of W would need to wait until that 1-2 line push comes in, because those IS-7s we saw at the start of the game, they were moving towards that forest super quickly. We'll say most of them probably have turbo, maybe even Grousers, something like that. So if the 2 cap starts being an option, or if W eyes itself a bit of that 2 cap, then the IS-7s just might, start booking it. And as soon as they do that, like, it doesn't matter if they killed the 60 TP and the mouse on the 1-2 line before, because they're just going to be going there so fast that those 2 super heavies, they'll be left in the dust wondering where it went wrong.
Barkis here doing a spotting check. He tries to knock over the 3 towards the cap, but he gets spotted out. Needs to be careful. That was a lazy check from Barkis, actually. Not sure how else to call it. I think we can agree upon that. Didn't really do well on the ridge, just kind of went for it, and only then realized that, there's a batchet in the bushes somewhere.
Yeah, kind of a lazy check, and the possibility of the IS-7s booking it starts to become more and more prevalent here by the second, as Tizek, Orzek, and Ketsai starting to drive over that K-line. And what is really there to stop them? Well, turns out not a whole lot. It is a CS that gets tagged in towards the back. Not even sure if that was an HE. A second Amarak getting repaired here on the tank of Orzek, but Bark is also with that Batchet, not really having a good time. Down towards the one shot, down towards the grave. White Rock, 527 possible one-shots for the IS-7s as well. They need to send one his way, though.
They need to do that indeed. They will send Rexar. You can see him peel off on the bottom of your screen. Now, Frugo's in a bad position, and Opur is just ahead right now in this game. Like, rotation-wise, they're just having such a good read on what they want to do and how they should do it. White Rock is going to fall. The Ignite, though, on towards Rexar will drop him really, really low immediately. Might even die for this. It's a bit unfortunate for him, although I think he will just about be fine by the looks of things. And W is trying to react, but again, it's the 7v5 position again that we're currently in. Piotrik's now coming in with his clip. He wants to get Frugo out, but I don't know, Piotrix. This is not it from Piotrix. Like, he comes in with his clip and he just explodes to Ali. That miscommunication, player failure. I think a lot of things there went badly, but luckily enough for Opur, they're so far ahead that it may not even matter.
I mean, that was essentially Piotrix just dumpstering his Batchet. I don't know what else to call it. He just took it and threw it away. He didn't even recycle properly. It just went straight to the garbage bin. But you said it. Opur currently far ahead, and they are most likely going to take this round if no more Piotrix plays start happening. And also regarding the tanks that W still has available, it's 4 heavy tanks. There are no playmaker tanks left. The mouse can't really sponge anymore. It's down to 1.1k. The 60 TP, you can see Itok starting to drive in, realizing it's all over for his team in this round, as Opur on the arguably worse side of Muravanka, with a very, very firm hold. A weird play by Piotrix, but maybe he just wanted to confuse the enemy.
Yeah, but the initial play from, Opur doing the rotations, pressuring the forest, forcing W to go clear it, and then W did clear it, but they really did not expect the K-line repush at all. They caught White Rock and Barkis with their pants down for it. They barely took anything crossing over, so they were like very, very happy with that. I mean, yeah, Rexar took a lot of damage killing White Rock, but somebody had to go kill him though, so there was that.
And I think at that point in time, they can even afford to lose Rexar, which would have been extremely unfortunate, because like he already took that fire and everything. It wouldn't have made a difference if he had died, I don't think. And now we can see DJ here trying to do what he can in this 1 versus 2 situation, but Turns out he doesn't even really need to do anything more because apart from the fact that Opur still has 6 tanks remaining, the time is also down towards 32 seconds. So Opur on their Moravanka defense are going to hold on. They're going to hold strong. They're once again on a victory. Going to look very, very solid.
Yeah, with a real opportunity to make match point after this. To be honest, on Moravanka attack, they had a really good defense here with rotations that made sense, that were good. Kind of surprised that W didn't rotate back towards 1-2 after clearing the forest, you know? Like you clear the forest deep, you establish a spotter, and then you repressure the 2-line to put the cap on, because you know if they're not in the forest, they will take a long, long time to rotate, right? Back towards the forest to get those angles to reset. So I'm surprised. I mean, it looked like they wanted to do this, because the I7 started driving back. But the CS was very committed. The BAT was also very committed for that. They had no spots on the K-line cross because they never took 3-line, for example. So I would have liked to see them just full bail from that and go back towards 1-2. I think it would have been huge. Panzer Fury have just farming. Fury doing what Fury does best, farming.
Yeah, I mean, having a really, really good day. I mean, yesterday we even saw one player go above 7k, but I think anything above 5k in 7v7, where there are no HP regens available at least, is a monstrous round. So, yeah, Pan's Fury there. Really hitting his shots, really hitting his marks. There are some questions that I would like to ask towards the way of Piotrix this round, because it doesn't matter how you turn or try to angle it in any different kind of way. That play was just bad.
Yes.
But it didn't end up mattering. So, you know, his team is probably going to be calling him a bot. Insane would know more about that.
In my opinion, you're a bot.
But yeah, in the end, that was... first round of Moravanka. This means we're going to get one more of those. This time it's going to be Opur attacking. And it is going to be the lingering question here. Are they going to be trying some very, very slow play like we just saw?
I thought you were going to say experimental strats because they're saving for China.
I mean, is it that? I mean, it's not even 8 p.m. Are we opening up the copium valve yet?
Sure. Why not?
They're saving strats for China.
They're going to do the 6 mouses and a bat shot and drive to the cap and make a shield formation.
I mean, no, I don't know what I mean. I hate that idea.
Why?
It would be hilarious if it worked, but actually with the reworked HE, can you even splash the bat shot inside?
No, but you can just put, the way the physics works nowadays is that you can just put 6 people behind one tank and just push it through, you know? Like you just push it out of the way.
Yeah. Something tells me we're not going to see that. Something tells me it's not going to happen this way because we said it already. Like both Smile, Opur, Hit and Run, all of those teams are going to treat this sort of a very, very serious simulation of how, you know, other tournaments will go. And this means that at least I think that Opur is going to take it like any other match in tournaments, but very, very seriously. And yeah, round number 4, we'll see. Are Opur able to secure match point for themselves? Or is W once again going to be able to equalize the score? I know Opur coming into their attack, doing so with triple IS-7, a Mouse, a 277, an S-Conk, and Piotrix gets to play Batshit again.
Versus Whitey and Barkois in the CS63s, a Mouse, and 4 60 TP ski hand on defense.
That is a heavy lineup for W. With those 4 60 TPs, 1 Mouse. Double CS as the rotationary tanks. We do see there is the 2 little choo-choo trains being formed with the 60 TPs being pushed very, very close towards the cap. I think the lineup for Opur. They're reading it in a way that, they want to commit straight towards that one cap on the 1-2 line. Opur wanting to do none of the sort. They realize against this brutal amount of armor, firepower, alpha that a W is bringing to the table here, they cannot really sustain in a close quarters battle. This is, I think, where they're instead choosing to go towards the forest and towards the middle of the map.
Go round and round. It's the bus. Yeah. They're driving the bus down 1-2. The 460 TPs and the CS16 and Panther Fury is like, guys? Guys?
Yeah, there probably is a very loud silence, if you know what I mean. Good ignite though, coming out from Pan's Fury, but the tanks by Opur, they will need to come there soon to support the singular super conk of Pan's Fury. As the 60 TPs, the March of the Elephants has started. A quick one tap, a quick 1-2 probably even, as Yuzek puts in the next one. The track taken off, the third one coming in, and the fourth 60 TP Frugo, the captain himself, with the first kill of the game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 60 TPs are in my story. And they're going to be continuing to roll because on the offside of your screen, H7 cap has been started. Triple cap actually as well. And right now, there's nobody that can stop this. Marcus is going as a bullet, but he has 15 seconds to make it. They cannot even really stop for this mouse because then they won't be reloaded for the cap. I think he spotted out one of them, but who will get the reset here? Because Itox actually drove down. 4 seconds left. The mouse that was supposed to stay on the top is no longer there. Can they find a reset? It doesn't look to be that way as Opur steal it in front of the noses from W, who were really rolling over it. Miscoordination there, I would say, between Itox and Barkis about who was supposed to do what exactly. Because one of them is supposed to stay on the top, one of them is supposed to go spot, and they both went to spot. So you see Barkis drive back to the top at 5 seconds left, but the CS63 aim time is long.
I mean, both of them.
And the mouse is a lot taller, by the way.
Both of them going to spot makes both of them a bot in that situation, as Opur are going to be very, very happy with this round here, where the 60 TPs, yes, they do catch a couple tanks by the side of Opur off guard, but in the end, it doesn't matter if Piotrix is going to be able to whop up 40, then 29 cap points for DJ, 31 for Ketsai, and that in total, you guessed it, it makes 100, capping through here as Opur make it a very, very quick attacking victory on Moravanka of all maps. And now, if you're a W fanboy, you should be very worried because we are moving into the next map. It's Tundra. It's not too bad yet as Opur starts defending, but after that, they're probably going to be attacking if they don't win that round straight up.
This was W's round though. Miscoordination there, like in general, like endgame scenario. Bark is taking the long route instead of just cutting close, like 2-line into speedy mode into spotting the cap. You know what I mean? Like he went really wide for some reason. That didn't make sense to begin with. Itox not staying on the top with the mouse or not like immediately starting to roll down when the cap gets started. Like, if he just rolls down immediately when the cap starts, I think he makes it on time to spot it, at least for Barkis, for example. But ideally, he stays, and either Barkis or White Rock just move in immediately in speedy mode. I think if Barkis goes straight instead of going wide, he'll make it. The mouse is so tall, he loads HE, he resets. It's all good. They win that round easily. They were up so much already. Even if the CS63 dies, once the cap gets reset, game over. Game over 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 10,000 versus 15,000 HP and like 6 versus 5 guns with 60 TPs in close combat engaged against pretty nimble tanks compared to a 60 TP. Well, compared to a 60 TP, almost any tank is pretty nimble, but you know what I mean. But like this, we have now arrived at a match point for Opur in a match that we all expected to be very, very close, but Opur actually doing a good job of stealing a round from W, a round that might be very, very costly. And now, all of a sudden, it's do or die in the upper bracket for that team of W that did look very, very good yesterday and are sort of fumbling a bit, I would say.
No, I think W saving grace is that they're starting on attack, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But I'm a bit
exactly.
worried still. I mean, that last round is kind of a demoralizing one, Ammo.
It can be, right? It can be. Especially if they realize what they did wrong. Because if they realize it immediately, they're going to be like face palming, and then it can be very, very hurtful towards the psyche of the players. So at least at this point in time, it would probably be better for them to not realize they could have easily won the round. They can be like, we got all capped, out of position, unlucky. Then again, players of their calibers, they probably recognize it. That being said, though, it doesn't really matter if or if not they did something. They ended up losing the round, meaning we are at match point. We are at the possibly last round. There is the slight advantage of attacking for W, but first of all, Opur will try to finish it off immediately with triple 60 TP and quadruple ISM.
W, on the other hand, double 60p, I7, 277, double E5, and a Minotauro. For W, this is a kicker though, this last round. They would go 2-2 into Tundra, and we're prime pole position really for a tiebreaker. Now we're in pole position for Opur to just snatch it away. All in all, they did a really good move with that cap, but it hurts if you're W. It hurts.
It hurts, indeed. And now, opening-wise, I think that's kind of standard. 2 South Heavy for Opur. And from W for the opening, Ali this time not in the Hori. Stays once again there at the base. The Finnish treasure, I guess, of the W team, supposed to provide the support from the back lines, as we do see triple IS7 here. Kind of unusual positioning for those in the FG2 positions, now starting to continue, probably waiting for some timing not to get spotted by what exactly on the W team is the question. They do get spotted now, though, and that is a very, very aggressive move. Whitey revealing his position in that 60 TP as well, but he's probably going to be pretty safe.
Yeah, no, Poor on the defense know that they have to make some sort of a moves, are pressuring.
Oh,
Fruko, the 1-2 combination, the fire as well, and then Rexar with a good shot. That puts him at 750 HP, man. An actual 50-50 for these 60 TPs. Now Yuzek is going to have to move across the open. And look at Opur, Kian. Look what they're doing with these I7s.
That hurts so badly. Looking at the 60 TP, they're also Yuzek getting hurt. And the I7's just rotating around. Not really giving a damn because they're safely able to rotate. Whitey starting to, fancy himself a little of a 1v1 against T-Sec. Actually, it's going to be a 2v1 because there is one E5 starting to come close. And this means that T-Sec is probably going to lose this one. This is going to secure the southern side if White Rock doesn't bounce more shots here. But Itox surely able to put a couple shots into that 60 TP that even starts getting hammered from the back lines from Ali, who has relocated on the hill. This is 3v1 against that singular 60 TP. The I7 rotation actually starting to hurt the team of Opur. They need to do something in the north, and they're collapsing now.
I think T-Sec didn't really fully understand the plan there. I'm not sure why he would be by himself, it doesn't really make too much sense. Now they're going to focus on towards the Lipto with these I7s, the 1-2-3 combination. Panther Fury will be the one that have to finish it off, and then they'll move on toward Yusek. But this is actually enabling Frugo to be useful in this game at the very least, right? Because before, on his low HP, he wasn't really contributing anything. Panther Fury now down towards a one-shot. Good connection there from Yusek in the 60 DP. It's an important one, making that tank a complete and other one-shot. Now he has to be very careful, but still, even with this Opur leaving T-Sec behind, White Rock's now coming in, but I mean, they don't really have anything going for them.
No, they don't. 2 kills so far for the side of Opur, and yeah, they're even ahead in HP. White Rock now dropping down towards 621, and that is detrimental towards the 60 HP because Ketsai is very, very likely going to roll at 60 HP in the next shot that he's going to do. And all of a sudden, also basically the lines of communication, as you would probably call it, have not been cut off for the side of Opur. They're still able to rotate those IS-7s around freely. That being said, though, Ketsai being pressured down towards less than 1,000 HP. The team HP actually starting to edge back into W territory as DJ gets spotted on towards his way. Starting to attack Itox here. Piotrix also, the little hit squad forming up. There is one IS-7 also on the long rotation, trying to flank Itox completely here. We're going to have to wait and see, as good shot by Ali through that rail car, and we'll have to see if Itox gets caught with his pants down as Rexa comes from the back.
Yeah, these IS-7s just being an absolute terror for Opur. Able to find kill after kill, isolation after isolation. Now the three of them triple team Itox in that position, and a lot of the HP for the W team is now currently on the hill with Ali. And sure, he's doing some damage, but now Orchek coming in, almost fallen for it, takes a lot of damage, but survives on a one shot, and W now left. Thank two of them very healthy, but no guns available to them to really make them to the game.
And Bark is now driving around in that Minotauro, getting proxied by Ozek, but that Minotauro is so annoying to penetrate. Bark is there with the connection, but once again, the amount of guns, the IS-7s, one quick tap into Barkis, one quick tap into Ali, the HP, even again, and Frugo gets picked up.
Yeah, Keta there realizing that he's not really a one-shot, goes for Frugo, picks him up as well on that 500 HP. Bit of a risk, but at the same time, knew that he could do it. Ali not connecting the shot there. Now 2v4 with 3 minutes left. There is a world in which they win this, but I don't know if we are currently living on this world yet.
Yeah, there is indeed a world. There is a planet that sees a W victory here. And I'm not sure if Ali or Barkis have the technology to currently reach that planet. They don't have any BZ-75, so I don't think they have the rockets needed.
I don't think they have the time needed either. Because it takes a long time. They will have to find Katsai first, who might even give a shot to Barkis if he gets proxy spotted by the IS-7 because of that A2 position. If Barkis could find Katsai, though, I think he might have an angle from his position on towards that 60 TP. They still need to find the three other players again. And sure, Tundra is not a large map, but with 2 minutes left, you don't have a lot of things you could possibly do. If you cap, you lose. So you would have to kill them somehow.
And now Ali starting to edge closer in the north. We can see Barkis there with a shot, but does not connect there in the north here. Actually, Ali trying to shoot as well, and we can see Ketsai springing into action, does not connect his swing either. So now Ali is going to drive in, going to connect that one, and the Minotauro to pick it up. But now you can see the problems. 1 minute and 38 seconds. It will take more than that to cap any kind of cap, and because both tanks fired now, this means that Opur is aware of all the positions of the enemy tanks. And there is one tank that has not been spotted by anyone yet. That is Rexa. He can just drive away. He can just hide somewhere. And they'll split, surely.
Yeah. They'll go left, they'll go right. One drives back down, one to line. The other one goes to hide at K2. And in the meantime, DJ is also peeling off towards a different direction. I mean, sure, Rexa will get spotted here. Might even take a snap from Barkis. He doesn't. And I mean, Barkis is in the impossible situation. Sure, Ali finds DJ, but with 1 minute left, they would need to find the other two IS-7s. And Opur has done a good job on this defense to bring it and drag it out to the wire, which is going to cost them nothing.
I don't even like Piotrix peeking here. Like, surely he does get the shot in. But I don't know if Rexa gets set on fire. Nah, it doesn't matter. Who are we kidding? Oh, yeah. So Opur are holding on in a bit chaotic round number 5, but I think Opur in those chaotic environments is also one of those teams that strives in them. They do have the communication within their team needed to immediately recognize who does what, when, and where. Beautiful job of demonstrating that. They do get one more kill. Not that it matters, but they do get one more round. That one actually does matter. Good Cupola. Snapshot by Rexa to end of the round. Takes one more shot, but it's going to be Opur 4. W only one. They're going to be dropping down towards the lower bracket, and that actually concludes the EU part of the stream for today. But worry not, we've got more content coming right up. It's going to be one more NA match. First of all, Let's take a look at the damage numbers in between Opur and W here, though, as we do see that Ali once again damage dealer, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough indeed, as you can see. But, Opur doing a good job there. And at the end of the day, even if it was 2-2 coming into this, winning their defense would put them, again, in a really great position to win the matchup. Don't think the scoreline really reflects of how close it was between these two. Luckily for W, they have another chance in the lower bracket, but Opur deservedly so. Moving on. Moving up in the world.
Yes, moving on, moving strong. We're here actually meeting a valuable opponent for themselves. I think they are going to identify some of the mistakes they possibly made, because there is no perfect game of World of Tanks that you play as a player. There is always something you can improve, and they are going to be finding those ways to improve. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are, which is the grand final. W moving down in the bracket. But I think, Daki, for the time being, that's enough from us. Let's see what Insane and Toxic have to say about this one. Take it away.
Are you sick and tired of being relentlessly shamed for your lack of skins and loot boxes and other cool things? Well, don't worry about it. We've got you covered, Jimmy. Hi there, we're Million Pugs. You've probably seen our logo on stream, but here's what we actually do. Million Pugs earns you skins and in-game rewards whenever you shop online. When you shop with any of our partnered brands, you earn our own loyalty points, called Pugs. You then swap those Pugs for some spiffy World of Tanks loot like premium tanks, premium account access, and gold. Anyway, head on over to millionpugs.com now and sign up for free.
Opur is gonna continue with this amazing streak in this tournament. Toxic, as they're gonna be reaching the grand finals that we'll be covering tomorrow. And from the side of W, they're gonna be dropping in the losers bracket, where they will be facing either Hit and Run or Tango, which is tomorrow the match of the losers bracket will be covering.
Let's be realistic here. Come on, they will most likely be facing Hit and Run. Tango, I mean, they've shown some stuff, but Hit and Run is probably on another league. So tomorrow we will have very interesting matches here on the European bracket. But for now, I think we should take a look at the NA bracket as well, because that is also where we will have the last match that is being covered today, which will be between Bears and MLP in the lower bracket, match number 8.
You mentioned it correct. That's it for the EU bracket for today. And now we have our last match of the day, Bears against MLP, fighting to get the chance to face Escalate in the finals of the losers bracket. That's also a BO7 between those two teams. I think most of us voted for Bears, if I'm not mistaken. What's your take on it?
I mean, I also voted for Bears, but I did make it a tiebreaker because well, I've heard about the MLP matches, and they apparently didn't play all that bad. However, I still think that Bears might have the edge here and will be able to move on to the lower bracket final versus Escalate, the team that we saw fail miserably today versus Smile.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate to say so. And honestly, I think Bears or MLP, they would be definitely capable of taking the victory against Escalate, because today their performance was really not on point against Smile. Smile even allowing them to get 1.1 round with this throw on Murvanka. But let's get back to the match we have just seen between the two EU teams, W and Opur, because we have the replays ready and we were starting on a cliff. And honestly, we have to say those two teams with their initials, it was pretty frozen, but then there's a good play from the side of Opur. You'll see it. They have pushed up the 277 at F1, the Rock to lock down the BZs, and then they will just move with Pants Fury forward to take the position in the Donut. As you can see, he's moving now to take the E3 position, and then he gets some damage, some free damage on the tanks of the Donut in some hold-on position, and it's actually forcing W to make a move.
Yeah, great stuff from Opur, noticing that they have to push this BZ back in order to get Panzer Fury into that cheeky position. W will react to it with the push with the BZs onto DJ, but it's just a little too late, because Opur is really able to get that HP advantage, the positional advantage, and really force W into a move that they don't really want to play.
Yeah, I mean, they even win the middle. So you can see Frugo at the start losing a lot of HPs, and then Yusek also dropping low. So good start from the side of Opur. And next up, actually, W proved once again that the busy is the king of Cliff. Because even though you can drop a lot of HPs going up the hill, you have so much HP in general that you can accept that. And once you are on top of that hill, especially against CS, it's very strong. On top of it, great positioning from the side of Ali to take down Ketzine in his BZ75. And then you could see that W, they had only a CS to face on top of the hill, so a huge advantage. And it was just about to clean all of those low HPs. Rexhaus, the CS on the hill, the 277 in the middle. Good stuff from W.
That shot from Ali was probably the decider in this game. I feel like if Ketzai makes it onto the hill there, maybe gives a shot and allows his team to actually win the hill, this match would probably paint another story. But great shooting. They killed a whole Ketzai going up that hill in his BZ. Great stuff from them. Also cool Ram, got some style points as well. Maybe they will be able to take those into the lower bracket for tomorrow.
Yeah, next up on Muro, though, it was not the greatest attack from the side of W, because you could see that the CS and Bachat got caught off guard by this Opur repush. In return, that's actually a good call and a good reaction from the side of Opur, going for that one of the kill line, taking out the Bachat and the CS in the process, and later you also get a Frugo, which is a bit out of position.
Murovanka maybe not the best map for W. They didn't really seem to have the rotations correct. You will see that in the next game as well. The rotations were not really on point on this map. Maybe they should consider banning it, or I don't know, maybe training it a bit more, because with this showing it's gonna be hard to actually get a win in a tournament. They made it really far already, which is great, but really the next step towards the win is to be able to perfect basically every single map apart from one, because you can only ban one map, right?
Then we had that pretty interesting round. It was looking pretty good for W, considering that 4-tap they had on Panzer is the 60 TPs, but you could see that Opur in return was really fast into establishing over the base 2, starting the cap. And W, they had to rush for those decaps, and you will see that they're going to go straight with all of those 60 TPs, but they essentially only have the mouse that is in position to get some shots done, and Dishak is actually blocking him. Also, he's going to block the way also over the middle, and Opur is actually going to pull that over the cap. Pretty shocking result for the side of W there.
Very cool to see. It's like you blink once, you miss the entire round. Almost happened to me. I was reading a message and all of a sudden you tell me like, oh, the game is about to be over. And I'm like, wait, what? It just started, didn't it? So great stuff from Opur actually with the rotation here. They had Panzer Fury as the sacrificial lamp and then just took the round.
Well, next up, final round. Once again, a good start for the side of Opur, and not a great one for Frugo, dropping low, taking more than 2k HP. But you're gonna see that Tisek is actually making a mistake. He's on his own at the south, and he pushed up way too far, allowing W to take him out in the process. But you will see that Opur is reacting afterwards and getting the push down over the A-line with some overmatch triple, even 4 IS-7s going after a 277 and a 60 TP. Overall, it's going to be a very close round between the two teams, but you will see that Opur, with their decision making, their experience, they're going to make it just on time, because I think at the end it was a matter of what, a minute or so, 30 seconds. W had to rush to get the kills, but that could have gone in a different way if they had more time.
Yeah, Kian mentioned this during the game already. This was really for Opur a very valuable match to see some of the mistakes they made and to improve upon them, not only for the rest of this tournament, but also already in preparation for the WCI tournament. So I feel like Opur is quite happy with fighting W, and also quite happy with W actually doing so great, because strong opponents is what you want to have as a scrim in order to prepare for matches.
Well, yeah, like we mentioned, Opur is going to be waiting tomorrow in the grand finals. W is going to drop in the losers bracket, but now